You need have no fear,
It's
Bane.
not like we haven't slain the undead before. What's the
Maybe
problem?
these undead are more powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just a bit more dead.
You need have no fear, Baindon, you reply, unsheathing the sun sword. And man, does that ever sound like a euphemism for something. For you know that I possess such a weapon, this Summersword. Baindon stares at the shimmering golden blade and calmly nods his head. Yes, Grandmaster, your divine sword is ideally crafted for the task, but you must use it with discretion. Unsheathed, the Summersword radiates a powerful aura of goodness. In the darkness of Ixia, such a power would be like a blazing beacon. It could readily alert the Death Lord to your presence.
I'm just curious what else he would offer us if we did not have the Summersword that we had basically been clutching through this entire adventure as if it, well, our life rightfully depended on it.
You're right, I'm actually kind of curious too.
Well,
What would he have offered us?
I can check.
If he offers something like a stick compared to our weapon, I'm laughing.
He would give you a Desi stone.
At this, what? Ah.
And attach it to your weapon, which would make it capable of dealing double damage to undead.
Well, it's a kind thought, but yeah, legendary sword, so save it for some other time, the undead are, well, rising.
In any case, you show Baindon your Colinium scabbard and tell him how you came by it. The seemingly plain belt and scabbard were given to you several years ago by Lord Rimoa for a similar purpose, to conceal the power of the Summersword from the Dark Lords of Helgedad. I trust it will serve you just as well next year, says Baindon, nodding his approval.
How do you do that?
It is in the 13th hour of your air voyage that the Skyrider's eagle-eyed lookout catches his first glimpse of Vadera. Word spreads quickly and a hubbub of excitement grips the dwarven crew as the flying ship draws ever closer to the fortified walls and turrets of the great northern Lentian port. Skillfully, bosun Nolrim lands the Skyrider on the paved courtyard in front of Vadera Citadel, which has been clear of crowds in expectation of your arrival. Awaiting you is a party of stern-faced Vadera officials who, with a minimum of fuss, escort you and Baindon directly to the court of King Sarnak. We are honored to welcome you once again to our city, Grandmaster, says the silver-haired king. My only regret is the reason for your visit. I'd have hoped our meeting would have been in less ominous circumstances. Formally, you acknowledge the king's greetings, then you turn to face the elderly man who is standing beside the king's throne. You recognize him as soon as you enter the king's chamber. He is Lord Arden, an elder magi from Desi, one of Lord Rimo's countrymen. Well met, my lord, you say. No, wait, that's Lone Wolf, sorry. Wrong vocal cords. Well met, my lord, you say, and Arden returns your greetings with a smile. Sadly, his smile soon fades when he says, No doubt your able companion, Goldmaster Baindon, has told you of the rise of evil in Ixia. Dire news indeed, Grandmaster, for it threatens our very existence, most especially the existence of our Lentian friends. If the Death Lord's power is allowed to grow unchecked, Lentia will be the first freeland state to suffer his wrath. I pledge to do all in my power to prevent such an outcome, my lord, you reply earnestly. We have faith in your Lone Wolf, says King Sarnak, and we shall help you accomplish your mission in whatever way we can. He signals to one of his silver-clad bodyguards, and the soldier leaves his chamber. He returns shortly in the company of another man, clad in the court uniform of a guard captain. You recognize the officer at once. It is your friend and former guide, Captain Prague. We meet again, Captain, you say, as you shake his hand glad in friendship. Aye, Grandmaster, it is an honor to serve you once more.
Yeah, can I make a little comparison here?
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, all the promises of we will be waiting for you, we will have faith in you, blah, 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 blah. Most of the time I get the feeling that Lone Wolf is sort of like, you know, the guy who disarms bombs, and they are just, well, waiting for you to basically go in there, rectify the situation, and even if you had problems, they cannot really do anything unless you actually have an entire army behind you.
They are very much like, don't worry, we'll support and back you up and help you. From way over there. Good luck!
We'll provide moral support.
Yay! King Sarnak...
Man, we believe in you.
Yep, that's basically it. But you can't really blame them. I mean, Lone Wolf is at this point basically more or less a demigod.
Yeah, he's more or less Hercules at this point.
Yeah, so I can't blame them if they just point him at the danger and then seek cover. King Sonic dismisses his guardsmen before ushering you, Baindon, Lord Arden, and Captain Prague into an adjoining antechamber. An oaken table commands the center of this opulent room, upon which is spread a detailed map of northwestern Magnamund. In response to Lord Arden's request, I made provisions for your journey to Ixia, Grandmaster, says the king, as the 5 of you gather around the map table. As we speak, a man of war is standing by in Vadera Harbor, awaiting my order to set sail. Captain Prague will accompany you during the first part of your sea voyage to our outpost, which is here on Asgard Island. King Sana points to the map, indicating a remote island near the Gulf of Concord. The garrison on Asgard Island is commanded by Captain Lanza. Word has been sent of your coming, and Lanza has a crew and an ice boat ready to place at your disposal. They'll transport you across the stormy Tosa Sea and land you on the southern coast of Ixia. From there you must make your way on foot to the city of Sogon, where you will find the Death Lord and his accursed weapon, the Death Staff. You study the map and, with growing dismay, you appreciate the difficult voyage that lies ahead. Very well, sire, you reply. I understand how I am to reach Ixia in order to find and defeat the Death Lord, but can you tell me how I am to return once my mission has been accomplished?
A fair question.
Having heard your question, King Sonic turns to Arden and says, My lord, perhaps you could say something to allay Grandmaster Lone Wolf's fears. Certainly, sire, replies Lord Arden, turning to Ratio. My lord, as Guildmaster Baindon may already have told you, the coast of Ixia is a hellish place. The iceboat will be able to anchor in this region for 7 days at most. If you do not return within this time, you will be forced to go back to Asgard Island. But do not let this cause you undue concern, my lord. At present there is a great imbalance between the forces of good and evil in our world. Yet upon the instant that you defeat the Death Lord and destroy his staff of power, this balance will surely be resumed. I, like my kinsman Lord Remoa, will know the moment that the balance has been righted. If your quest takes longer than 1 week to accomplish, the iceboat will be sent out once more to collect you from Sogon.
Aha.
With your briefing now concluded, King Sonic ushers you all into his court chamber. There you bid him, Lord Arden, and Guildmaster Baindon farewell, and they in turn wish you good luck and Godspeed before Captain Prague escorts you to the harbor. It is snowing heavily, and few of Vadera's inhabitants notice as the two of you are welcome aboard the May Castle, the square-rigged man of war which will carry you to
Maid Castle.
No, May Castle. Not Maid, May Castle.
Okay.
The square-rigged man of war will carry you to Asgard Island. You leave Vadera within the hour, and begin the long, cold voyage northwards. During the voyage, Captain Prague tells you about the raids which have destroyed several small Dracaran settlements along the Gulf of Concord and the coast of Shakos Bight. On the 12th day of your 2-week sea journey, you catch a glimpse of one such settlement near to the mouth of the river Lenak. All that remains is a wispy pile of smoke which hangs above the burned-out hovels, darkening an already stormy sky. For most of the voyage, a host of seabirds have accompanied the May Castle, attracted by the scraps of food regularly thrown out by the ship's galley. But at dawn on the 13th day, as the ship enters the Gulf of Concord, the usual flocks of shrieking gulls are nowhere to be seen. It is as they have suddenly become aware of impending danger and have turned back, eager to stay out of harm's reach. Later in the day, a fierce squall arises from the east, which whips the iron-grey waters of the Gulf into a maelstrom. The crew fights desperately to control their ship as the storm rages all day and all night, not abating until dawn of the following day. As the wind gradually dies and the sea settles, the lookout is able to resume his post atop the mainmast. "Land ahoy!" he cries, and all eyes scan the northern vista. And there's a picture of what he sees. Here's the land ahoy.
Let us see.
I like that they put this nice little ring around their tower thing. It's just nice little detail. Must have taken time to make.
Huh.
I think he's trying to use a spyglass or something. That's
And
why
why
I'm
can
looking
they see everything around it?
Maybe it's because it's zooming in. We can see all the other stuff, but that's the area that's zoomed in.
Maybe that's how his zooming works.
Yeah, I mean, look around it. If you look to the edges of the fortified city, what do you see? Just coastline that doesn't add up with the rest of it.
It says here, there perched on the windy horizon is a grey strip of barren frost-covered rock. You magnify your vision and see on the western side of the island a few slate buildings clustered around a fortified stone tower. So that is how Lone Wolf zooms in on things. That does explain it, though it looked kind of weird until one reads that. That is Fort Asgard, says Captain Prague with relief in his voice. At last we arrived. As the May Castle cuts through the icy waves towards the fort, a beacon flares into life, its guttering yellow flame marking the entrance to the outpost's slate-walled harbour. A Lentian flag is raised atop the watchtower, and the crew gives a cheer. For them it is a welcome sight after 2 cold and difficult weeks at sea. The May Castle docks at the harbour wall, alongside the iron bow ice boat which will take you to Ixia. The excited garrison have gathered to greet the crew. They have been looking forward to receiving fresh provisions and news from their homeland for several weeks. You disembark with Prague and are met on the quay by a bearded sergeant clad in fur-trimmed leather tunic. He escorts you to the watchtower where you are welcomed in person by Captain Lancer, the garrison commander. Lancer is a stocky, hard-nosed soldier whose leathery, frost-bitten face bears living testimony to the 5 years he has spent as commander of this bleak, god-forsaken outpost. His posting here has been his punishment for a drunken brawl in a Vadera tavern in which he had killed, albeit in self-defense, the brutish elder son of Hagla, the major of the city. At his court-martial he had been allowed to choose his fate, commander of the notorious Asgard Island garrison or death by hanging.
Well, yeah, I do not know. It's a whole being drunk
But it's
thing.
kind of like being sent before. It's kind of like this garrison is kind of like the French Foreign Legion.
Yeah. Lancer readily admits that
What are they called? Now I can't remember. The Night's Watch from Game of Thrones.
Lancer readily admits that there have been times where he has felt that he made the wrong choice.
Ah. So his job is so tiring that he actually considers death.
Yep. Lancer's private quarters comprise a sparsely furnished chamber near the top of the watchtower. You warm yourself in front of an open grate and listen as he and Prague discuss your onward passage to Ixia aboard the garrison's ice boat. At length, Lancer voices his fears about recent sightings at sea, strange craft which sail beneath the waves and ships crewed by the living dead. As you listen to his chilling account, you look out through the chamber's slit window at an icy mist which is creeping in from the north. It's swirling knee-deep around the watchtower and the harbour wall. Do you wish to use Grand Hunt Mastery?
Yes.
Yes.
Drawing on your Kai Mastery, you focus on the encroaching mist and detect strange movements in the ultraviolet spectrum of light. You cannot discern exactly what is moving out there, but you are certain of one thing. It is evil, and it is drawing ever closer to Fort Asgard. You warn Captain
Asgard?
Asgard.
Oh, okay.
You warn Captain Lancer, and at first he does not believe you. He turns saying that it's not uncommon for new arrivals to imagine they have seen all manners of spectres in the sea mist which swirls around the fort. But then a loud discordant bell rings out from above, and Lancer's face is transfixed with shock. By the gods, he splutters! It's the alarm bell! We are under attack! From out of the eerie mist there looms a high-prowed ship, wrought of age-blackened timbers which glistens with ice and frost. It speeds into the harbour, and a morbid terror grips the heart of the Lentian garrison when they see that it is crewed by a cadaverous host of skeletal warriors. A ghastly wail arises from the invading ship, an unholy shriek that shatters the garrison's will to resist. At once the shocked Lentians turn and flee from the quayside, dropping and discarding their supplies and weapons in their hurry to get away. Ixia, preserve us! Cries Lancer as he takes up his sword belt and hurries towards the door. My men are routing! I must rally them to the defense before all is lost! Oh,
Well-
and picture time.